Hi everyone, Asians do football back again with another video. Today we're going to be talking about our predicted tables for the upcoming season. We have myself, Julian, Sameer, and we also have a special guest, Stephen, who we've been friends with for best part of 15, 16 years as well. He actually does the thumbnails as well, so big shout out to Stephen. We're actually gonna have so we're gonna go through all our predicted tables. I'm sure we have different teams in different places, but we're gonna have a table here. We're gonna try and agree on one table for you guys. And without further ado, let's start with the relegated teams. So, Samir, who do you have in your bottom three?
I'm hoping there's not too many arguments in the bottom three, but I've gone for two of the new promoted teams. So I've gone 20th, I've gone Fulham, and
Okay.
then 19th, I've gone West Brom, and then 18th, I've gone West Ham.
My bottom three, pretty much as well. Different order, but I can't disagree with that.
Julian, what have you got?
I have another claret and blue team.
You've gone
I
for
have
Villa,
Aston
haven't you?
Villa. I have Aston Villa going down.
What's your
I was
reasoning for
torn.
Villa?
I was torn between the two, but yeah, I have West Brom dead bottom, Fulham 19th,
Yeah.
and Villa 18th.
I'm glad we all agreed on West Brom and Fulham. But
Yeah,
Let's lock that in then.
I just don't think West Brom have the goals in them
No.
to stay
Yeah.
up. Fulham, they've got the goals because they've got Mitrovic, but I just don't think
even
they're.
then I don't. Even then I
Yeah,
don't.
I mean, it won't be enough, will it? It'll probably be like 10, 11 at best
Yeah,
goals, maybe.
exactly.
I don't know
Um,
about Samir, but I went for West Ham because I think their club is just in a bit of a crisis at the moment. And I actually think they're lucky that the fans aren't in the stadium because I think after those first 6 games, what have they
they're
got? They've
not gonna
got
want to go anyway. I don't
they're not
think
but who've they got? They've got Arsenal. They've
they've
definitely
got
got like
pretty much
I
the
think they
top
might have
seven.
Liverpool.
Yeah, I think so.
They've got like 3 or 4
In
teams that are
shambles.
normally comfortably in the top 6 in their first 6
Yeah,
games.
yeah,
The club's already in crisis. They've sold one of their best young prospects, and you've got Mark Noble going out on Twitter saying he disagrees with them selling one of their best young prospects. The club's an
yeah.
absolute shambles. If there was fans in the stadium after those first 6 games and they'd lost half of them or more, I think it would just be absolutely toxic in there. I just can't see how that team
It's not looking
stays
great for
up.
them.
Do
You
you
know
know what the
what?
funny thing? The funny
Yeah,
thing is though about West Ham, that on paper, I think we mentioned this in the review series, Julian. Like on paper, it's a good team. They've got good players, and it just doesn't work out. I think this season, the reasons that Stephen gave us all and alluded to, I think
mhm.
it's going to catch up with them eventually, and like their bubble is going to finally burst. Unfortunately,
It's that reason, Samir. You say on paper they have a decent team, and it's that reason I put Aston Villa to go down,
So why?
despite them spending 60 million on Matty Cash, despite them spending 28 plus million on Ollie Watkins. We don't know if Ollie Watkins is gonna hit the ground running, right? I thought we spoke about in the review series. I thought they were very lucky to stay up, extremely lucky. And I don't know, West Ham's that team that they're always threatening to go down, but they just never do. It's like kind of like Newcastle, but
I think
I don't
this
know. I
might be the
might be wrong
season.
here. I might be wrong.
Julian,
Yeah.
where have you got West Ham in your table at the moment? Is
You've
it
got
near
them
the
in
bottom?
18th, right?
I have them 17th,
So you have them
so
just above Villa.
just above Villa.
Well, me and Stephen win because it's 2-1 here.
So should we wait? So should I put in? Should we agree that? Wait, you had Fulham. Who did you have Fulham dead bottom?
I had
Yeah,
West
I
Brom.
did.
I had
I
West
think me
Brom.
and Julian have got West Brom dead bottom. So we'll put
Okay,
West
you
Brom
do West
in
Brom bottom, then
20th
that's
at the
fine with that. I'm
start.
fine with that. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay, let's do West Brom, Fulham, 2v1. Let's put West Ham to go down with them. Okay, that's the relegated teams out of the way. Let's move on. Let's do 14th to 17th. So as you know, I put West Ham in 17th. Uh, Brighton in 16th, Palace in 15th, and Burnley in 14th. You guys have any changes there? Or
I've got everyone except for Burnley. I've got Newcastle 14th. So I'm not disagreeing with the other three. So I'm happy to put them all in there.
I think we've
okay,
got similar teams again. I've actually got Brighton in 14th, Newcastle in 15th, Crystal Palace in 16th, and then obviously Aston Villa in 17th.
Damn. I
It's
mean, yeah.
it's interesting because I think with Brighton, I think I've alluded to in the review series again. Like, I think they're gonna have a good defense. I know obviously they're still quite low in the table in my prediction, but I still think their defense will be good. I think they're lacking up front. They haven't got enough there, but I'm hoping the defense will hold out. They kept hold of White, for example, which was a big one, especially with Leeds bids coming in and stuff like that. So I just think I've got a sneaky feeling. I'm not saying they're gonna be amazing, like loads of clean sheets. But I'm just saying they'll be better and stronger. And I think,
But that's
yeah,
that's one of the reasons I put them in 16th as well. Maybe it's a bit harsh, but yeah, they have a very good defense, and then they're linked strongly with Emi Martinez as well. So if they get him in as a keeper, that'll be fantastic.
Is he better than what they've got at the moment?
Matt Ryan?
Yeah,
I
I think Matty
so.
Ryan is better, to be honest.
No,
I don't know why they're going for him.
Maybe it's me being biased as an Arsenal fan, but
if I was Martinez, I would go to Aston Villa instead of Brighton because he'd be number one at Aston Villa.
Yeah, because that's his issue.
Their number one
Arsenal,
before was
number one.
Pepe Bloody Reino. He's ancient. He's not even there. Might as well go to Aston Villa and be guaranteed 38 games a season.
Yeah, I agree.
You're all forgetting one thing about Brighton though, which is that they've bought the little magician that is Adam Lallana, and I think he's gonna add
the little injured magician. You
quite a bit to their attacking game. That's why I've gone for 14th.
I think Brighton will have a good season out of the bunch we mentioned personally. So
who we putting in 17th?
Well, I'm happy to put Villa there personally because they're 16th on my list. So I'm not too adverse to putting them 17th.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I had them. I think that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so Villa 17th.
Who do you have? I have Brighton in 16th. Who do you have in 16th?
I had Palace.
I had Villa, but I'm happy to put Palace there because Palace were my 17th, so I'll put Palace there.
Yeah.
By the way,
yeah, I'm good. Palace's I have in 15th, so I don't mind putting in.
By the way, on Palace, I know we've done our relegations already. I'm not saying let's put them down there, but I'm just saying, just looking on paper, yeah, their team's a bit atrocious in defence. They're relying a lot on Eze, Zaha.
We are, but I think they're again, like Julian mentioned it for West Ham. Palace is just one of those teams. They'll stay up somehow. Roy will work his magic somehow, and they'll be. Yeah, they'll be all right.
And they're saying Batshuayi, and he was great for them when they first had him on loan, so that helps with the goals.
Ayew didn't do too badly last season as well. I mean, you're relying on him a lot. I mean, Benteke is useless, but yeah, he might do. He might do. I mean, imagine if they all did come good. They'd be higher than 16th, but I think that's fair.
They'll be pushing Europe if all three were firing. Bloody hell. All right, let's
Zaha's still there as well, which is important for them, obviously.
True.
Yeah.
And so we're putting them Eze as well, isn't it?
Yeah, Eze as well.
Okay, so let's put Villa 17th, Palace 16th.
Yep.
Brighton 15th.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm not adverse to that. I'm fine with that.
And then I had Burnley 14th.
I had Newcastle. Did you have Stephen?
I had Brighton, but I had Newcastle just below Brighton, so I'm happy to put me and you, Sameer, having Newcastle there.
Okay. Yeah. What do we think of Newcastle signings? They've made a quick flurry before the beginning of the season. I like the signings.
Fraser on a free. Wilson, he's proven he can do bits in the Premier League. Who else they got?
Jamal Lewis.
Jamal Lewis.
Stephen, what do you think of that Jamal Lewis? Because obviously a Liverpool fan didn't get him in the end. Like, I'm sure you did your little bit of research.
I told you my views on it. I mean, like, for him personally, he must be absolutely gutted to be linked to the Premier League champions. I know obviously it would be as a backup, but you're joining the Premier League champions and then you've gone from that to joining Newcastle. But I mean, for him, it's a great signing for Newcastle. It's a really good signing for Newcastle. So I don't blame. I'm not unhappy about that. We've got another reserve left back now. That's what we needed. So yeah, I'm happy.
Look at that! All the Newcastle fans moaning about Steve Bruce, but we all think he's going to keep them up again. So doing an okay job over there.
Okay.
So Julian, what we got?
I have Newcastle much higher. So let's put Newcastle in 14th then.
Okay.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, that's. I think we're all agreed.
Okay, moving
on. Are we complete 20 to 14th now? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
All right.
Moving on. Moving on, let's do our last three teams in the bottom half. So 11th, 12th, and 13th. Who do you have, Stevie?
I have Sheffield United in 11th,
Okay.
Southampton in 12th, and Burnley in 13th.
Ooh, interesting.
Okay.
I have. Do you want to go, Julian? Or should I?
Go for it.
Okay, I've got Sheffield United 11th. I've got Leeds 12th and Burnley 13th.
So I've got Leeds 12 as well. I've got Newcastle 11th and Sheffield United on 13th.
You've got Sheffield.
What do?
That's bold.
I
I mean, I've
know.
not put much higher, but that feels bold.
What do you both think of the second season syndrome stuff that happens in the Premier League? Like, do you think it's a thing, or do you think it's just like a made up, like
I
just
saw
happens?
like a BBC article saying might have to double check this, but maybe it was like it's actually only 30% of teams in the second season that go down, so it's actually like a really high percentage that do stay up.
Yeah.
They might not be as good the second season, but we've all put them in the top half of the bottom half, if that makes sense. So we all think they're going to be safe.
Yeah.
So we're not too worried about second. I think for me, the only reason I've not put them higher, considering how well they did last year, was just because I think a lot of the teams that they were in and around with last season are going to be a lot better. I think so. I just couldn't
Agreed.
put them as high. I don't think Arsenal are going to be as bad. I don't think Tottenham are going to be as bad. I don't think Man United are going to start off as bad. I know Man United got fourth, but they started off quite badly. So it's just unfortunate that I put Sheffield United that low. I actually think they're a really good team.
Do you know what? Low key, Leeds might be the most exciting team everyone's looking forward to as neutrals, because I think a lot of people are predicting them to do really well out of the teams coming up, especially really well.
I've put them higher than you two, so yeah. But so there might be a disagreement about who finishes in 12th in this joint table, because I think Leeds will be higher than that. But
Julian, what do you think of what do you think of Burnley as well? Like, I know we mentioned the reviews, like what is next for them, and again we put them safe, obviously, in the mid-table and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they haven't signed anyone either. Like, who have they signed?
Saying, like, I put Burnley 14th. You guys had them higher, right?
only by 1 13th.
Only 13th. Yeah, I 13th as well.
Yeah, it's just like you say, man. There's not. They're just a Premier League outfit in it, but they're not gonna do anything. They're not gonna get relegated.
They've not bought anyone. They won't do anything exciting.
Exactly.
But Sean Dyche will do his job.
The thing is,
keep them up.
apparently Leicester's pushing really hard to get Dwight McNeil. So if he leaves and they don't reinvest that money, who knows in it?
I mean, if West Ham buy Tarkowski as well,
yeah, that's another one.
I doubt it, because it looks like they've rejected 30 million and they're wanting 50. And we know about West Ham's owners. There's no way they're going to pay 50 million for him. But if they somehow did let him go, then maybe 13th is starting to look a bit precarious if you start letting those two players go and not get anyone in.
I don't know. The reason I put Sheffield in 13th is not to do with the second season syndrome nonsense. It's that I don't feel like they're gonna do as well. They're gonna do well, like it's in the top half of the second half of the table, but teams will figure them out.
Julian, do you know what? Actually, it's interesting you say this. Yeah, I think that a big key, and this relates to Stephen as well, because he supports Liverpool, is getting Brewster in. I think is very, very interesting, very key, because they need some firepower up front. He had a decent season at Swansea. Everyone's excited about him. Villa, I think, went from at some point, and obviously they've moved on now.
Chris Wilder alluded to it in his press conference.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if he was alluding directly to Brewster, but he said that they're going to try and get a striker in the next few days or the next week or so. And he also said it will probably be a loan, which made me think maybe he is hinting towards Brewster.
I mean,
and Stephen, I think he also said that he's like willing to wait because other teams still trying to decide what they're doing.
Yeah.
And that leads to Liverpool again. So yeah, I think they are willing to wait for him till the last few days in the transfer window.
Even still, I mean, on a side note, it would help in my fantasy football because but even with Brewster, I'd still put them 13th because I feel the teams I've put above them will be above them. So, what are we saying then? What are we saying for the table?
I think two of us had Burnley in 13th, so I think maybe we have to put them 13th, right?
Okay. Yeah, I think so. Let's do.
Me and Samir have Leeds in 12th, but you strongly disagree. I'm guessing so.
Stephen, how high are they on yours?
About 4 or 5 places higher than 13th.
Bloody hell!
Let's hold on that position.
So
Should we put
wait, you both had, if you know, I mean, if you both had Leeds as 12th, I'm gonna have to go with you guys. It's
Okay.
you know, but I do strongly disagree about putting them in 12th. But
The thing is, yeah, I'm excited just as much as everyone else with Leeds, but I don't want to,
we'll get to Leeds when we talk about my
Yeah.
position.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we
Let's
can
leave
wait
Leeds
for
first.
that because I've put them a bit higher than this. I mean, not much higher, but I've put them a bit higher.
Okay. So then, who would put in the 11th?
Should we all agree on Sheffield United? I guess.
Yep, I'm happy with Sheffield United. I'm
Unless
happy
you
with that.
had.
That's who is 11th.
I put Newcastle in 11th.
But
Are you
have we already
slightly?
put Newcastle?
Yeah, we put
Yeah.
Newcastle in
Newcastle.
14th. Yeah.
So
Okay,
Sheffield
we'll
United, I
put
think.
Sheffield.
Me and
Yeah.
Stephen have got them. Yeah. All right.
Okay, cool. Stevie, can you give us a roundup of the bottom half of the table, just
Yeah.
for a reminder?
So we have got West Brom dead bottom,
Mm-hmm.
Fulham just above them, then West Ham, then Aston Villa, then Palace, then Brighton, Newcastle in 14th, Burnley in 13th, Leeds in 12th, and then rounding off Sheffield United in 11th.
Sheffield United in 11th. Okay, let's do then. Let's do 10th to 8th. Let's do 3 teams.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'll go first. In 10th, I have Southampton.
Okay.
9th, I have Everton, and Wolves I have in 8th.
Okay. Yeah.
Ooh,
All right.
interesting.
Samir?
Yeah, mine's not too dissimilar actually. So I've gone 10th Everton, I've
Okay,
gone 9th Leicester, and I've gone 8th Southampton.
9th Leicester.
I've tracked them down
I
there.
think we've already
Wait,
got one agreement then because I also put Everton in 10th. I then put Leeds in 9th, and then this is my most controversial one, and we'll talk about it in a bit, I guess. But in 8th, I put Man United.
Whoa.
So,
All right,
but
before we
should
get
we
to
just
the
put 10th in because we all agreed
yeah,
that Everton will be unless
okay.
listen, like
unless you massively disagree with that, Julian, about Everton in
Mm,
10th.
I think Everton's gonna do better than Southampton, but I'm not opposed to it. Let's put Everton 10th. Everton
it's so
10th.
funny. Like Everton is that team. Like they got a good manager now, world class manager. Most people would say, and
Exactly.
now they bought well. I would say they bought good players. But they need to make it all happen now. Like
This
on the pitch, it's not good enough just to have these names and stuff. And it never happens for them.
that
It's
I
not
mean
ever this season.
that's genuinely the only reason why I've put them there.
I don't know.
You guys know because it was in our group chat that when Everton appointed Ancelotti, I was like, that is huge. They have got an
Yeah, so
absolute winner in charge, and if there's any man that can get this club out of mediocrity, it's Ancelotti. And especially with the signings, they've now got completely new midfield, exciting midfield. But I had to put them there because I had to just be cautious because Everton let you down every season. Every season they let you
I
down.
don't
You
know, man.
always think you go
I think
into
it's
it
the
every year
same.
and you think, oh, they're gonna push for Europe. They might even push for top four, and then they end up finishing like 13th. And it's just I just can't bring
I think
myself to put them higher. I think they will, but I just can't bring myself to put them higher.
fine. Okay, so they're gonna be in around the mid-table
Yeah,
part. Okay. Who did you have in 9th again?
I had Leeds, so I had them much higher than you two.
Julian, I think we had Southampton in this three. So should we put Southampton ninth then?
Yeah,
I had them eighth.
Yeah, I had them 10th. So let's meet in the middle. Put them 9th.
Okay, no. I
Is that
actually think Southampton's one of my. I've obviously put them eighth. I think they're going to be a standout team, like not a dark horse like in terms of pushing Europe, but I think they do really really well. I think they shored up their backline a little bit, and
yeah.
Ings just on fire,
Mm.
and I think he'll carry on that. Che Adams towards the end of the season started to pick up form. I'm not still convinced by him because a lot of Championship players struggle in the Premier League, and I feel like he's in that bracket, but there's still the option there. And I think they're just a bit more settled, and they recovered so well from that 9-0 against Leicester ages ago.
Yeah.
I think they're a year older together. The squad hasn't changed too much, and I think they'll have a good season.
I think that's mid-table again is a safe bet. They're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna have enough to challenge for Europe or anything like that. They're not gonna get relegated or anything. So yeah, like Everton, it's gonna mid-table sounds a bit about right for them. Eighth is very controversial for Stephen.
Oh, we can. Should I explain why I put Leeds 9th first
Yeah.
as well,
I would
rather
love to.
than?
Oh yeah, go on.
I mean, I put
Go
I put Southampton 12th, so I don't think it's against the realms of possibility for them to finish 9th, like you
No.
guys have said. I think all of the reasons you've said, they can easily and conceivably finish 9th. But I put Leeds in 9th because I'm just so damn excited to see them play in the Premier League. I think they're going to be, and I think people have mentioned other teams. Like I saw Spencer's video, Spencer FC, where he said like Blackpool came up and they were playing exciting football, and Norwich came up and they were playing exciting football, and then they went straight pretty much. Well, not Blackpool, but Norwich went straight back down. I think Blackpool stayed up for a few seasons, and then it all came crumbling down. But I just think Leeds, Bielsa, they're just a totally different outfit. They're so much more defensively stronger than those other two teams that came up. I mean, Norwich, their defense was an absolute shambles last season. There is no way Leeds are conceding as many goals as that. So not only are they defensively solid, but I think they're just going to be one of the few teams. They're going to be a nuisance. People aren't going to be ready for Bielsa's football. They're not going to be ready for that pressing, for that absolutely relentless 90 minutes of people hounding you.
I agree.
I mean, like that FA Cup game against Arsenal in January. I know in the second half Arsenal were a lot better, but that was not. You are not playing a team that was Championship quality.
they should have
That
scored
team
like a few goals.
was all over you in the first half. I think they had like 15 plus shots in the first half. They were all over you. I just think they're a very exciting team, and I don't know. I think maybe I'm buying into like how everyone's hyping them up a bit too much, but I do think with Bielsa in charge, they can finish that highly. But I will
agree
go with you
everything
guys,
said.
and I've put them
I
further down.
agree. I agree. It's just I don't know. Maybe 12th is a bit low for them. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's like they have to do it consistently in the Premier League, which is a step up.
Yeah.
Of course, it's not 40 plus games like the Championship, but these teams, these are established Premier League teams that have been in the league for years. So it's going to be difficult for them. And I'm sure Bielsa and Leeds are going to do fantastic, but yeah, I think 8th is a bit too high for them. But who knows? Who knows?
Julian,
yeah.
Julian. I think let's not worry about who I had. I think we should talk about the elephant in the room of why Stephen has put Man United 8th.
Yeah.
Because he's a Liverpool fan, so people are going to be coming at you.
Yeah, I mean, part of it is that, and a lot of it is just. I think a lot of it is just wishful thinking. I'll be honest. I don't think they're actually going to finish 8th, but it'd be quite nice if they did. I'd enjoy it if they did.
I'd love it as well. I'd love it as well, to be honest.
I don't know. People are going to hound me, but I'm still not sold on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I'm not. I think it could all crumbling down again. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. It's great that they're going for Sancho. I think any team who has the money available should be going for Sancho, but is he what they really need?
No, they don't.
Like, do you guys think they need an expensive attacker? I don't think it is. I think they've got bigger issues to solve in their back line to be spending money on that I'd be worrying about as a Man United fan. I mean, I have to put my hands up and say I made a mistake. I thought Harry Maguire was a quality, solid player at Leicester, but since he's gone to Man United, he has been, I'm not going to say terrible. He has been terrible in games, but he's just not. I'm starting to think that he's not like top 4 quality centre back. He definitely should be one of the most expensive defenders in the world. That's for certain now.
You two know my feelings on Maguire. I didn't get him at Leicester. Like, I don't understand the hype at Leicester and England and stuff like that. So when they bought him, I was like, okay, because I think they were going for the Van Dijk effect, and it's obviously not happened. But the Sancho, the thing you said about Sancho, Stephen, is interesting because I agree with you. I don't think they need him, but I think for Man United, it's like a statement signing.
Yeah, 100%. But the problem I'd say with Man United is the past few years, once Ferguson left, how hard have they tried for this big signing, like statement signing, big money, and how has that worked out for them? Like, not very well. Like, you guys know my view on Paul Pogba and how much they paid for him and how he's been. Like, it's just, I mean, I don't think Sancho would do that. I think Sancho would come straight in and just be amazing because that's how good he is. But I don't think that's what they need. Yeah, so eighth is just wishful thinking on my part, but I do think there's a slight bit of me that thinks they get a bit of bad form again because they've always had this bad. They have this one period. So the first season Ollie comes in, they have that great period where they beat PSG somehow because PSG always just managed to flop in the Champions League. They go for this great period, and everyone's like, "Yeah, give Ollie this 6-year deal. We put contracts in front of him, let him sign whatever he wants." Then they were terrible again. And then just at the end of last season, they start a massive good run again. But for me, it's not consistent enough, and I don't know if Ollie can bring that consistency. And I think when we talk about the top four positions when we get there, I think last season's top four and top six was just an absolute shambles because I think you had clubs like Arsenal and Tottenham who should be up there, who just weren't up there last season.
Yeah.
So I don't. I think a good Arsenal or Tottenham side last season gets fourth before Man United last season. That's my personal opinion. So that's why I haven't put them as high as those two teams this year.
I still feel they've spent well, man. Bruno Fernandes is probably going to kick on again. Pogba looks so much more
Let's see how many
confident.
goals he gets that aren't penalties, and then we'll talk about his
Well,
goal
just as
scoring
general
afterwards.
plays,
Yeah, his general play is good.
And I really like the Van der Beek signing. I think he's going to be very, very good. Whether it works with the three, whether they're going to play like a Fred or
I
Matic.
always worry about signings from the Dutch league, so I'm keeping I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, last
Even
time
Ziyech, like I think he'll be quality, but there's something
yeah.
about signings from Dutch leagues. They're either absolutely amazing or they just can't cut it. And
Well, the last time they signed the pipe from
yeah,
PSV, I think it was.
couldn't cut it, but he's gone on to better things. So
Yeah,
clearly the good
exactly.
player's
So
there. It's not that he was a bad player, but
we'll see. We'll see. So what are we saying then? What are we saying for eight?
I don't think you guys are going to agree with Man United in eighth. So I'll listen to what you
Yeah.
guys want to say about who goes in
Julian,
eighth.
I had Southampton eighth, but we already put them somewhere. So I had Leicester ninth. What did you have eighth?
I had Wolves and eighth, Everton ninth, and Southampton 10th.
I'm happy to go with Wolves because Wolves are seventh. Wolves are seventh for me, so I'm happy to go with Wolves.
Wolves for eighth.
Where did you put Leicester, Julie?
Seventh.
Higher, right? Okay.
Seventh, yeah.
All right. Well, so who do you want here? Wolves then.
Yeah, I'm happy to concede that and give Wolves. Wolves are making a late surge in transfer market. I don't know why they're taking so long.
They're splashing cash in.
They lost Doherty. How have Tottenham got in for that cheap? Is my first issue. I don't know what is going on over there. And they bought a FM legend for 40 million. So it'll be interesting to see how he fits in because I don't think he's going to go straight in the team, even though he cost that much money.
Yeah.
So let me just see. But I think Wolves, like last season, strong as always. Really good defensively. They don't score loads of goals, but they'll get the goals, enough goals that they need.
I might as well say where I put them now because I have no voice on where they finish now. But I put them in fifth. Yeah.
Wow. Damn.
So I think they'll be as good as last year.
Right.
Yeah,
Are you happy to concede on this one, Stephen?
Yeah, I'm happy for you guys to have put them eighth. I realise my eighth position of Man United is not going to sit down well with anyone, so it's fine.
It is what you said. It's wishful thinking. Let's move on to fifth, sixth, and seventh then. So seventh, as I said, I've got Leicester. I've put Spurs in sixth, and Man United in fifth.
I've got Man United fifth and Tottenham sixth as well. So depending on what Stephen's got, and then who did you have seventh? Sorry,
Leicester.
Yeah, I had Leicester ninth, so I'm happy. I'm happy that three at the moment. But let's see what Stephen's got.
I had Leicester in seventh, Tottenham in sixth. I think we've all agreed there on Tottenham in sixth, and I had as I say, I had Wolves fifth. So that's
okay. Let's go with the Leicester Tottenham United then.
So Leicester in seventh, yeah.
Tottenham sixth, United.
Tottenham in sixth, and then United in fifth.
What do we? What do
Yeah.
we think of Man United in fifth? What do we think of Mourinho in terms of like is he finished out here? He was. Do you know what? When like the older when he was doing really well, he's like one of my favorite managers. I know as an Arsenal fan, he probably shouldn't be, but I just really like the way he did it. But do you think he's lost it, or is he gonna rejuvenate again and he'll do well at Tottenham? What do we think?
I thought he had lost it, but here I am putting them 6th. So I don't know. Maybe he'll do something with them. They've got the players. They've
Yeah.
definitely got the players for it. And there
If
was,
Kane, yeah,
go on.
I'm just saying if Kane stays fit, they have a big chance of doing something.
Mm.
Possibly pushing top 4. Mourinho's a winner, isn't he? Even in his last few years as United manager, he won what, the FA Cup, right, and Europa. So it's a tough one. Obviously as an Arsenal fan, I hope he doesn't do well. But we'll see. 6 for Tottenham, I have. So
hmm Yeah, I think as long as like something doesn't happen behind the scenes or like something all comes falling down with Mourinho, as long as he can keep the group on side, I think they'll be good enough for 6th, and they might be
cool.
able to push as well. But 6th sounds about fair for them, unless they like make another big signing or something. But 6th is fair
Yeah,
enough.
So 5th, 6th, and 7th sorted. That means we all have Arsenal in the top 4. Now,
Julian's so happy. Calm down, Julian.
no. I didn't want to come across very like biased, but I've said it in the Arsenal video and the review. I trust the process. I trust Arteta's vision. I'll back it. If he signs, I don't know, Jay Spearing, I will say that's a good signing because I believe he can turn any player into a world class player. So saying that, Arsenal I have 4th.
Yeah, I have them 4th as well.
I have them 4th as well. I think we can let's lock them in. Let's put them in.
Let's do
Damn,
it.
who would have
Why?
thought? Who would have thought? Wenger was lambasted for finishing 4th regularly, and now
The
some
irony.
would say
Now
just
that now
blind
that
optimism
now the
with Jay
4th place
Spearing.
trophy is something to celebrate. Yeah.
It really is. It really is. I feel like
Well, Stephen, probably more you say because me and Julian are
Both
Arsenal
Arsenal
fans.
fans,
Obviously,
so
so a bit
you're
biased. Yeah.
biased
What,
positioning in
what, what,
4th.
do you, what do you think of Arsenal? What do you expect from them as like someone that is not an Arsenal supporter? What do you think from the outside?
I've been really, really impressed by the change under Arteta. I don't think straight away you're gonna get the old Arsenal back, as they say, with like the fluent attacking football per se, or where you're like dominating the game. And I think he probably wants to get to a point where he's replicating like City's type of tactics. But I think for now he's adapted it. So Man City in the FA Cup, Chelsea in the FA Cup, and then Liverpool in the Community Shield, the most recent games under him. You had 11 men behind the ball when you didn't have the ball, so that's different to how you're used to playing as Arsenal. But it worked, and it worked really well. There was other things that like he'd adapt. So you're defensively, he's made you stronger, and
Mhm.
that's always been the issue with Arsenal. That's why before I'd never have put them in the top 4, but now not only has he made them better defensively, you've got better players. You've got Saliba and you've got Gabriel. I don't know if they'll both be starting together. I think he'll probably keep picking like Louise because he does quite like him. He has got his mistakes, but I think he puts him in as well because of his maturity. Maturity is probably not the right word with the mistakes, but his leadership qualities. He's been there, he's done it, he's won it, so he's in there for those reasons.
Yeah.
So I think defensively you're better, and attacking wise you look good. I mean, Aubameyang is going to absolutely bang in the goals. There's literally no doubt about that. He's going to get loads of goals again. So I have to put them up there. I think they'll get it. I think they'll do it. I think he'll make them a better outfit than some of the other clubs we've been talking about. I don't want to get carried away, but I think it's positive times for an Arsenal fan again, finally. And it's been a long time to be
I hope
positive
Stephen,
as
you're
an
right.
Arsenal
I
fan.
hope you're right.
Stephen, it's funny you say that because this time last year, well, not exactly, but I was excited by Emery and what signings he made. I'm quietly cautious, but I think the important thing that you mentioned was adapting. Because I think I could have come in and said, "Look, we're playing like Man City from day one. Like I don't care if we haven't got the players, we're going to play like Man City." But he hasn't done that. He's realised what he's got. He knew that they were lower confidence. He knew what he had to fix, and he hasn't forced the Man City stuff on us. If that
Yeah.
makes sense, like go
But
out there and play football.
even the stuff he has forced, like the passing out from the back and being confident on the ball, you've got much better at it. I think there were times under Emery where you were passing sideways, not really going anywhere.
Yeah.
There was loads of passes. You were passing out from the goalie, but it wasn't going anywhere. But then against like Liverpool in the Community Shield, you were passing out of our press, our front three press. You were passing out of it so easily. Like you were getting past that front three press so easily. So I think he's just made you a better team all round already, like that quickly. You start to get better players in. I feel like the only way's up, but maybe we're being all a bit too optimistic.
Julian, Steven said all this, and then we're going to lose 1-0 to Fulham tomorrow.
That's what I'm thinking.
That would be, as the old refrain goes, typical Arsenal, but I just can't see it. I think tomorrow will be an absolute breeze. It'll be like 3 or 4-0. But
fingers crossed. I'm not jinxing anything though.
Yeah.
Okay,
right,
cool. Let's move on. So Arsenal 4th. I feel like we're gonna have maybe the top 2 is gonna be different, but I feel like Chelsea 3rd.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I've gone for.
Okay. Chelsea.
By the way, what an exciting team! You've got Timo Werner, Havertz behind, Ziyech that Stephen alluded to earlier. Got Pulisic back.
Yeah.
You got Kante behind them. Hopefully he's back to his best for them, obviously. But yeah, it's exciting time. I'm just excited. I know it's hard because we'll be going up against them for the top 4 and stuff like that. But I mean, they're going to be an exciting watch.
I've put them 3rd. I think my only concern would be how quickly does it all click. All of those big signings. But if it does click, like they have to be up there. Surely you can't spend that amount of money in like one summer and not be competing for the top places.
Do you know what? If reports are right, it's not even over yet. Apparently, in the market for a keeper, obviously, but they're going to go for Declan Rice still, apparently. So they're going to spend even more money if they're trying to get him as well. So it's going absolutely
mental. Rice?
Surely they've got to sell someone, man. If they're bringing in Rice.
Yeah.
Surely.
No, maybe I'm wrong. What do you two think? But I think maybe they're adopting Rice as centre back potentially, or as in the back 3 or something.
Who have they got at the moment as centre backs?
So they've got Thiago Silva. They obviously brought in. They got Zuma. They got Rudiger and Christensen. Yeah.
I think people do worry about like Rudiger and Zuma at times, don't they? About like the occasional mistake, but I think if they get rid of Kepa, who is it they're getting? Potentially Mendy.
Yeah, from Rennes, I believe.
Chilwell and Thiago at the back, add new additions. Yeah, I mean Timo Werner, like I wanted him as a Liverpool fan. Like you two know that I wanted him. I don't think he would have started games, but he would have been pushing those front 3 players for a position every week in training, and I think he would have been an amazing addition. Sadly, we didn't have the money, but I think he'll be good.
I think he was before Havertz came in. I think he was going to get 15 Premier League goals. I think he can hit 25 plus goals in all competitions for Chelsea this season.
You know how mad it is all their spending? I had actually forgotten about Havertz for a second there until you just said his name. I mean, it's absolutely mad. They've just bought some absolutely brilliant players.
They're some worldies, honestly.
And the thing is, we're predicting them 3rd, which just shows how much the 2 other teams are so good.
Do you know what?
And only for me because it's the first time they've all played together. I think if they kick on this season, then obviously next season as well, once they're all bedded in, you've got all that talent. That's insane.
It's going to be a headache playing them. That's what I know.
Julian, because I was actually going to same thing that seems like I was potentially looking at putting them higher, but the only reason I didn't, and there's only 2 more places to go higher than that, was the gelling factor. Because I think on paper they can compete with the other 2 teams we're going to mention, obviously. But it's just how quickly they gel or not. And they got a favourable game on the opening day of the season against Brighton, so it'll be interesting to see how their stars go in that first game.
Okay, cool. Arsenal 4th, Chelsea 3rd. Top 2 now.
Oof,
How are we
here we
doing
go.
it? Are we gonna go second, or are we gonna say who the champions are?
I think we should go champions. I think we should
Okay.
go champions personally.
Champions. Go on, Samir.
Julian, you go first. You go first.
Me?
You go first. Yeah, you go first.
I have Manchester City being
Yeah,
champions.
me too. I'll see.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a negative Liverpool fan here, which is not great, but I put Man City top as well.
Okay. What was your
Uh,
thinking?
I just think Man City they've spent in areas where they needed to spend as well in their defense, and I think we've been so good these past 3 seasons. We've not lost a
Yeah.
home game in 3 seasons, right? This is the start of the fourth. We've not lost. Is it 3 seasons or two?
Is either
It
two or
might be.
three?
It might actually be 3 seasons at home. I think what in the past 2 seasons, what did we get when we missed out by 1 point? Was it 97 and City got 98? And then how many
Something.
Yeah.
points did we get last season? We've added up. It adds up to like nearly 190 something points in the past 2 seasons. My only worry is like, how much longer can you keep that up for? Like we should be able to because we've got Klopp, we've got the same team, the same motivation, the same desires. But I think now that we finally got it, we finally got the title. I think there might just be a little bit of drop off, and
You think?
I think yeah, and when you're talking about you've got Man City up your
Yeah.
back, that slight little drop off you can't get away with because they'll be all over you.
I don't necessarily think it'll be a drop off. I think Man City will be
Yeah, there's
hungry.
yeah.
That's my reason for putting them first because I think Pep is not gonna go another season without not losing the title and losing it by that much. He's
Yeah.
gonna do his utmost. And spending what? How much? 55 million on Ake.
Mhm.
There's talk of Koulibaly coming in for another 70, 80 million,
Yeah.
which is crazy. Well, he's 29 now and he's spending that much. He's a quality player. I'm not doubting that. But you know they're going to lose Eric Garcia. It looks like to Barcelona at the end of the season, when his contract runs out, possibly earlier if they accept a lower bid for them. But yeah, I think Man City's not a poor team. Liverpool were just extremely good last season. They dropped silly points. You know, Norwich. Credit to Norwich, that game they played really well. But yeah, I think City's going to be back up there next
Yeah.
season.
Can we just say rip to my dream of Messi coming to the Premier League first of all? That rumor came alive and died
Yeah,
so
that was
quickly.
just a
I'm
dream,
glad it
man.
did.
I was as a neutral, I was so excited to see him in Premier League, but alas, he's still
I
at
would have been as a
Barcelona.
neutral, I would have been excited, but if he was going to Man City, I would not have been excited at all. So I didn't want it to happen, and I'm glad it didn't
I,
happen.
I think a lot of people forget. Like I agree with every point that you've ever made with Man City as well. They had Laporte missing for a lot of the game, a lot of the season. So I'm not saying that's the sole reason that they didn't win it because Liverpool were credit to Liverpool, they did so well. But I think having him back and hopefully he stays fit for them. That's gonna be very important for them. And then Julian, like the main names you mentioned as well, is gonna be very important. I'm still a bit worried because I haven't rejuvenated as crazy. I know they've done the defense, which they need to sort out, but you still got aging players and like Aguero. I think will still
Yeah.
be quality. Jesus is still a question mark for me. Sterling
Really?
being on and off a little bit. Um,
Jesus scored goals, bro.
I know, but it's still a question mark for me. Like I think Aguero getting older, he's getting more injuries. It seems like as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if Jesus is gonna be able to maintain it for that
He
long. Jesus can come in and here and
up.
there, but
He stepped
I
up,
know.
man.
I think it's an important season for the likes of Sterling and De Bruyne again. I think De Bruyne will
I
be
think
amazing again as usual.
I think the only other reason I didn't go for Liverpool top again as well is just purely like taking emotion and bias and stuff out of it. Like statistically, I
Mm,
think Man City were the first team in the past 10 years to like have won it back to back. I
yeah.
think it's so tough to win
Mm.
it back to back now, and that's why like just from a statistical looking at it, I just couldn't put Liverpool top. Obviously, I wish that we will be top, but I'm not. I think it'll be tight. I think that's what it. I think it will. There's no way last season will repeat itself. It's not going to be 20 points. It's not going to be a 10-point
Yeah.
difference. I don't even think it might be. I don't even think it'll be a 5-point difference between first and second. I think it will be so tight. I think it would
Yeah.
be like between 1 and 3 points between first and second. So I'm not saying this negatively as in like, oh yeah, Man City are going to come top and I think Liverpool are going to come second and
Yeah.
that it'll be a write off. I think it is 50-50. I think it could go either way, but the reasons why I gave earlier why I just think
You know
Man
what?
City are slightly ahead.
as a football fan, I just want, if it was anything like the 18-19 season where it went to the last day, that would be amazing.
Yeah,
I
for
just
a
want to see it.
neutral, not for me.
I just
But
want to see it really. Yeah, as a Liverpool fan, that must have been hard. But I just want to see a good title race. Like obviously Liverpool deserves it, like to the T, right? Because they were just fantastic. But as a neutral, like when you know the title is over in like with like 3 months to go, it's just like
yeah,
okay, we have to wrap it up now.
Do you know what? I'm a bit worried about Liverpool in terms of, I don't know what Steven thinks of this, and obviously rebuttal me if you think differently. I'm a bit worried they haven't rejuvenated the squad as much as they should have. I know they've been linked to Thiago, and that saga is going on for ages. There's other teams being mentioned with Thiago as well. But I'm worried because I know we mentioned this in the WhatsApp group. Like, so Alex Ferguson was an example of someone that kept rejuvenating
yeah.
the squad, buying these players and stuff like that. And to me, Liverpool are a little bit standstill in terms of that. And I think
I
I know
think
like the board has got their rules and stuff like that, but they should have pushed the boat out a little bit more.
I think the standstill is okay in a lot of the players because a lot of the players are actually like still surprisingly quite young. Like Fabinho, I look at and I think this guy must be 30 odd, but he's only 26.
Mm,
Like I think in defense, Van Dijk's the only older one. The only older one. I think he's like
yeah.
29 now, maybe, or is it maybe even 30 now? I think Allison is
Mm,
another surprising one. This guy's only 26, 27.
Yeah.
He looks a lot older. Robertson, Trent, young. Gomez, young. Um, Wijnaldum's 29, so he's the one that's like hovering over and he's replacing. Henderson as well is I think 30 maybe or 29 or maybe even 31. So again,
Mhm.
needs replacing. But Salah, Mane, and Firmino, I think like 26, 27, 28 maybe.
Something
I'll
like
have
that.
mm,
to check it. So I think they're still. I think maybe not this season, maybe like next summer or the summer after. I think yeah, the rejuvenating point makes sense about like major changes, like 3 or 4 transfers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree actually. This summer, like we do needed like one or two. We still need like one or two additions just to. For me, it's always been about the depth because like
mm,
I mean, Man City, no one can compete with Man City's money. Like their bench could get into any other teams in the league's starting
yeah,
11s. Like it's just ridiculous their bench. Whereas Liverpool, who are their main competitors, our bench mainly has like kids on. I'm not saying they're not good
yeah,
kids, but they're not established regular international top quality players. They're Curtis Jones, they're Harvey Elliott, they're Brewster,
Mhm.
Origi, Shaqiri. I mean, I love Origi. He is a Liverpool legend, but when you're comparing to Man City's bench, it's just not quite the same standard. So I think we need additions for depth, and that's why I like something like Timo Werner would have been an absolutely amazing addition because having that quality in those positions on the bench. But yeah, I think it's just that depth. I think there are a few things in depth to be excited about. I think Minamino and I think Keita without any injuries, hopefully for the first time. Like he keeps getting injured, but a good run of games without injury is exciting. Minamino now that he's settled in, exciting. So I think Klopp will be like, well, they're new signings. So I mean, it would feel like
mm.
that if they were good, but I think I personally want another centre back, another midfielder. Thiago would be nice, and then another forward. If we were to get all those three, and then the transfer window closed, I'd maybe be a bit more optimistic about first or second. But I
Yeah.
think for now, without the depth as well, adding in that factor as well, I'm
Nah,
sadly
I
gonna
think
have to put them
Liverpool.
second.
I think they're gonna be all right. They just gotta be obviously be careful of injuries. Thankfully, Mane, Salah, Firmino haven't had any two serious injuries. I don't remember the last time they were out of the team, to be honest. Obviously,
Yeah,
as a Liverpool, you would know more. But yeah, I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a good title race. Like you say, I don't think the gap is gonna be as
yeah,
massive as last year. And who knows, Chelsea might be a bit sneaky as
Yeah.
well and put a challenge in the two top teams. But yeah, so that's our table. We're gonna leave it
Oh,
there.
so I'm gonna have to. I haven't actually put them in yet. We had such a big discussion
Oh,
there.
sorry.
Now they are in. That's the
So
top. The audience can only see the top 7 now, but that's the top 7 we've settled on. So
that
if
is
you
the
want to go,
top
if you want to
seven.
run through it, Julie?
I can't actually see it. You're gonna have to do
It's
it.
Man City in first, Liverpool
Yeah.
in second, Chelsea in third, Arsenal in fourth, Man United in fifth, Tottenham in sixth, and then we've got Leicester in seventh. Honourable mention actually to Wolves in eighth because that could be a Europa League place, so we should probably mention them there in the end. But
To be fair, the teams from. I think I'd like to think Chelsea's a given in third, but from the teams from fourth to even 10th, maybe I think there's going to be maybe at most 7 to 10 points in it. So
yeah, I think it's very fluid.
yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of
Those
movement throughout the season in that middle, table bit. But we'll see. As long as Arsenal gets into the top four,
what do you what?
I'm happy.
So going into this season as an Arsenal fan, what's your like optimistic? Not well. What? I don't want to say what's your like most wishful scenario because then you'll be like, oh yeah, we'll win this, 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 and this. But like, what would you be at the end of the season like happy about if you'd where in the league, what type, what trophies, etc. Like, what would make you happy if you got to the end of this? If someone said to you right now, this is what's going to happen at the end of the season,
Yeah,
are you happy? Like,
yeah.
what positions and stuff would you say as an Arsenal fan?
I want to throw this question back to Samir and put a little twist on it. So Samir,
Gone.
as an Arsenal fan, would you be happy if we got top four and didn't win
Didn't
a
win anything
trophy,
else. Yeah,
or would you be happy with getting sips but retaining the FA Cup?
it's got to be fourth,
It's interesting. It's
surely.
interesting you say this because I was thinking about it because I knew that I had a feeling this is the question that was going to come up. It's a tough one, but I think Stephen alluded to it earlier in the video. Like fourth place is the trophy now, unfortunately. In terms of as a pure footballist, you need to aim for trophies. That's what everyone aims for. But do you know what? Because we've won them so recently, I'm happy to give them up so we can finally get back to the Champions League. And actually, I know we're not going to go Champions League and like do amazingly in it either, but
Yeah.
the money it brings and the attraction it brings from player wise, it'll just help us improve. I think to help keep some of our players as well, we need to make that fourth place finally. It can't just be maybes and maybes again.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's
it's
it.
top four.
That's exactly my thinking as well. I think it's crazy to think, but I really do think if we get back in the Champions League, it's more of a win because of the money and the attraction to the club for players rather than a trophy. Because if we did make the Champions League, Thomas Partey might have been signed already, stuff like that with the extra money and whatnot. Maybe again that's wishful thinking, but who knows? But
No,
Julian,
I
Julian,
agree. I agree. Fourth and anything else in terms of trophy is a bonus. Like
yeah.
fourth is the target, and
I
it's
wouldn't, you know what? I would not mind coming 15th and winning the Europa League as long as we get back in the Champions League some way.
I think you'd have a problem with 15th, to be honest.
I'm joking.
No,
Yeah,
saying all this, if we were to believe Willian, we're going to win the Champions League in 2 years, according to him and his Arteta's conversation.
I
So
think
let's not get too optimistic
yeah.
now.
I think we need
Let's
to calm
let's
down.
stick to reality for a second.
Yeah. And on that note, guys, thank you again for watching. It's been really good. Probably a really long video, but I hope you guys enjoyed the discussions. We will see. We might do another wrap up at the end of the season to see, if our predictions were anywhere accurate. Who knows? Man United
I'm
might
fairly
actually
certain
win
Man United won't finish eighth, but we'll
it.
wish that that's the
No, you never
case.
know. You never know. But again, please like the video if you liked it. Subscribe for more and click that notification bell because we're going to be uploading more videos very soon. So until next time, take care, guys.
See ya.
yeah.